You're nothing without me." Those were the last words my father shouted before he threw my suitcase into the rain. But exactly 20 minutes later, every bank card he owned stopped working. And that was only the beginning. Don't forget to subscribe to Midnight Horror AI. Comment your country below and tell us where you are watching from. The night smelled like wet dirt and smoke. Thunder growled above our house as I stood outside the gate, shaking. My father, Rashid Khan, stared at me with cold eyes. "You eat my food. You live in my house. And still you are useless," he spat. My stepmother stood behind him, smiling quietly. I looked at my younger sister through the window. She was crying, but nobody opened the door. Then my father pointed toward the dark road. "Leave and never come back." The gate slammed shut. I stood there for a few seconds. My heart felt empty. I had no money, no friends nearby, nothing. Then my phone vibrated. Unknown number. I answered slowly. A deep voice whispered, "Did he finally throw you out?" I froze. "Who is this?" The caller ignored my question. "Walk to the old bus stop near the graveyard. Hurry, before your father calls you back." My blood turned cold. "How do you know about my father?" Click. The call ended. At the same moment, I heard loud shouting from inside the house. My father's angry voice echoed outside. "What do you mean declined? Try the other card." Another scream followed. Then another. I slowly looked back toward the house. Every light inside began flickering, one by one, like someone or something had entered the home. And then my father suddenly screamed my name from inside the darkness. I should have walked away, but something about my father's scream felt wrong. Not angry, terrified. Rain poured harder as I stepped closer to the gate. Inside the house, dishes shattered. My stepmother was crying loudly. "Rashid, the ATM swallowed the card." My father yelled back, "Check the online banking." A second later, silence filled the house. Complete silence. Then I heard him whisper something that made my skin crawl. "That account? It's impossible." I quickly climbed over the side wall and looked through the kitchen window. My father sat frozen at the table. His face had turned pale white. His phone trembled in his hand. Every bank account was empty. Not blocked. Not frozen. Empty. Millions are gone. My stepmother kept repeating, "Who did this? Who did this?" Then the lights went out completely. Darkness swallowed the house. Only the ticking clock could be heard. Tick, tick, tick. Suddenly, my father looked directly toward the window, toward me. His eyes widened with fear. "You," he whispered. I stepped back slowly. But before I could move, my phone vibrated again. Unknown number. I answered immediately. The same deep voice returned. "Do not enter that house." My breathing stopped. "What is happening?" The voice spoke calmly. "Your father stole something many years ago. Tonight, somebody came to collect the debt." Thunder exploded above us. I stared at the dark house. Then I noticed something standing behind my father. A tall shadow, too tall to be human. Its head touched the ceiling. Its face was hidden, but its fingers, long, black, sharp. My father slowly turned around, and the shadow bent down beside his ear. Then all the mirrors inside the house cracked at the same time. My father's scream shook the entire street. I stumbled backward into the mud as every dog nearby started barking wildly. Inside the house, furniture slammed against walls. Glass exploded across the floor. My stepmother ran toward the front door, but something invisible pulled her back into the darkness. I couldn't breathe. The shadow moved slowly behind them, watching, waiting. Then my phone spoke again, not ringing, speaking. The screen stayed black while the same deep voice came through the speaker. "Now you understand." My hands trembled. "Who are you?" A pause. Then the answer came. "I was there the night your father buried the truth." Cold air wrapped around me. "What truth?" The voice became darker. 20 years ago, your father and his brother robbed a man who lived near the graveyard, an old moneylender. They stole everything, but greed was not enough. Lightning flashed. And then they killed him. My heart nearly stopped. No, they buried his body beneath the old bus stop. Suddenly, memories rushed into my head. As a child, I once heard my uncle drunk and crying. He kept saying, "The graveyard man will return one day." At that time, I thought it was nonsense. Now I knew it was real. Another loud crash came from the house. I looked through the broken window. My father was on his knees, crying, begging. The tall shadow stood in front of him, and in its dark hand was one of my childhood photographs. The picture slowly caught fire by itself. Then the shadow turned its head toward me, even without seeing its face. I knew it was smiling, And then my father pointed directly at me and shouted, "Take him instead." The moment my father screamed those words, the shadow became completely still. The air around the house felt dead. Even the rain stopped. I stared at my father in shock. He was willing to sacrifice me, his own son. The shadow slowly turned toward him again. Then, for the first time, it spoke. Its voice sounded like dry bones scraping together. A father who trades his child deserves nothing. Every window shattered outward. My father fell backward, screaming, as black marks spread across the walls like crawling spiders. My stepmother fainted instantly. The shadow raised one long finger toward my father. Then something horrifying happened. Every screen inside the house turned on by itself. TVs, phones, laptops, all showing the same thing. A video, old and blurry. Two young men digging near the graveyard. My father and my uncle. Beside them, a dead body wrapped in cloth. My father began crying loudly. It was his idea, not mine, but the shadow moved closer. "You buried him alive." Silence. My father's face collapsed with terror. Because it was true. The old man had still been breathing. Suddenly, all the lights burst at once. Darkness consumed the room. And then came the screaming. Not one scream. Dozens. Human. Inhuman. I covered my ears and fell to the ground. After a few seconds, everything became quiet. Too quiet. Slowly, I looked inside the house again. My stepmother was unconscious near the stairs. Furniture was destroyed, but my father was gone. Only one thing remained on the floor. His wallet. I walked inside carefully and picked it up. Every bank card inside had turned completely black. Burned. And on the final card, words slowly appeared by themselves. "You said he was nothing." Then another sentence formed beneath it. "Now you are less than nothing." To this day, my father was never found. But every year, on the same stormy night, someone knocks on my door exactly 20 minutes after midnight.